You get lucky then as an agency if you're able to come in and be there for the entire tenure of a CMO. It's rare. It's a hard thing to get that alignment right now. So that CMO not only needs a vision, but they immediately need to know, what is my roadmap? How am I proving my individual value, my group's value within the company? So pressure for the agency to act fast, clearly. Expectations of consumers are nonstop. Content needs to be refreshed. Everything needs to be great and right now. There's an expectation economy out there for customers. Why isn't this app, this loyalty app, as easy to use as Starbucks is? Why isn't this app as, payment as easy as Uber? So it doesn't matter what your sector is or what your category is, the expectation is it's always going to be perfect vis-a-vis whatever the best experience is. And then the last group at clients is IT. We work with IT organizations quite a bit. They're under the same gun that the CMO is in terms of budgets have been slashed. How do we do more? And there's so many more touch points now from a digital standpoint. How are we delivering all of this with timelines? So that's where a lot of the pressures are. So then now it's incumbent on the agency. How are we changing what we do? How are we changing how we deliver given this environment? And here are some solutions that we've come up with for each of these groups, and maybe you can take these back to your respective agencies as well. For procurement specifically, we used to sell big 3-year remits, and we still do from time to time, and procurement ideally wants to know what something's going to cost over a long period of time. But we found great success in truncating down and saying, look, let's date before we get married. Let's try a concept and discovery phase, something that you can kick the tires on us. We can actually kick the tires on you as well, although we won't admit that, and see if it's a real fit. And that way we get a sense of what is the full breadth of their requirements, their infrastructure, their limitations. We know much better what the full cost is going to be at that point. The other thing that we've done a number of times is pay for performance or different ways of doing this. We either kind of set a baseline and then we get a delta of change of conversion over that. There are other ways of doing it, but purchasing love these formations. They're able to then go back and they win. Agencies win when we get signed up as well. And the way that we can do this is really baseline. It's something that we do for CMOs a lot too now. We've got these dashboards. We're able to come in. We have an optimization team that is comprised of technology and analytics and creative and UX. And we're able to do a full audit of an ecosystem pretty quickly, set some parameters in place and say, look, we think that if we work together, we can do this. And we found that the heads of marketing department love that. The opportunity to actually say, cool, not only do we have a vision, I know where I'm going to be in 6 months or 12 months or 18 months time. It sounds kind of no duh, but it's hard to stand up, and it's taken us quite some time to get there, and we're there now. Been running with it for about 18 months, and it's fantastic. The other insight that I want to leave with you is get something in your client's hands as soon as you possibly can. So prototyping is kind of a sprint to a first deliverable. We used to have big strategy phases, and let's look at the demographics and talk about who we're talking about, and all this kind of, we went in through strategy and then user experience and requirement gathering and content strategy. We try to cram all of that as much as we can to sprint to our first deliverable right now. When you put something in somebody's hands and they're able to walk it down the hall or share it with constituents or stakeholders, great things happen. Just very quickly, I'll go over dealing with customers' expectations. Clearly, shorter sprints, more releases. A lot of the Fortune 500 companies we work with like these big release cycles. And we say, look, that's not the way that it needs to work. It needs to be, you've got this great feedback mechanism from usability that we're doing, from CSAT measures or different partners that we're working with, from the App Store, wherever it might be. We have an obligation to listen. If we have that data, we have that feedback, we have to be listening to it and be able to act on it as fast as possible. No big releases. And then with IT, we've done a couple of things as well. We employ a lot of new technologies. We used to do kind of that waterfall approach, which was all about, let's get the requirements together and we'll do wireframes and then we'll design it up and we'll do content strategy and put all that in there and get through. Right now, it's very much with the software we have, we're able to get requirements, mock it up, and actually get our developers on it and start building the framework of the site, the app, whatever it might be, without design. And design comes in after. But IT groups love that at the clients we work with because they're able to get in earlier. Clearly agile, hopefully that's on a bingo card somewhere, is a big buzzword and has been for a couple of years now. And we think it's because agile to clients feels like faster. Oh, we want to do agile because we'll see something quicker. That's not what agile is. Agile is a methodology in terms of more cadence and more release cycles per the right bottom box there. But there's no wonder that IT wants to be involved sooner. They need to be working quicker as well. And then the last thing we started are things called Ignite sessions. And this is fantastic. If you can get away with it, please do it. So it's a 5-day program, and we ask clients to get everybody responsible for launching a product or an app. And we do this around either a specific digital product that we're creating, whether it be an application, a section of a site, whatever it might be. But we tell them, look, you need to be with us the majority of this week. And we're all going to co-locate. We're going to be together. I'm going to show you a quick video. This is our Amsterdam office working with a Philips client over the course of 5 days. You can see the canals in the back. Nice office. This is a group of folks that is about half clients and half AKQAers working on a digital product for a grooming, it's a connected product, a new grooming tool for men. And the idea that they came up with on Monday morning was, what if there was an app where you could, through facial recognition, basically put your face in, it's kind of an AR experience, and see what your face looks like with different beards, mustaches, and just try it out. And then with the groomer, we can say, oh, you need this setting or that setting, whatever it might be. Pretty cool idea. So came up with it on the first day, and then sprinted to get to a final product on Friday afternoon. And they did it. And once it was done, the day-to-day client ran it up to the powers that be, and they're like, absolutely, we have to do this. Let's go get it done. So I think this kind of compressing a schedule, the great thing about this is you hear quotes from clients like, oh, normally we wouldn't approve this, or normally the brand people would say no, or the technology folks, you know, I shouldn't be accessing the server for you, but yeah, we'll do it in case of this because we really got to get this done. And what's fantastic is you realize how much you throw away from your normal process on the agency side as well to sprint to get something done within 5 days. And it makes you wonder, why don't you do it all the time? The last point that I'll leave you with is faster is not just for clients. We have to be doing this for ourselves. Agencies want faster too, and most importantly, your employees want faster. And 3 comments about that. This is a group of folks at SpaceX, Elon Musk's company. You all saw the command center when they brought the booster back and it landed and everybody went crazy. This is actually outside the command center. The entire company went nuts when this was successful. And the reason I use this is a horrible pun. Employees want to launch things more frequently. And it's a really good point. People want things in the rearview mirror. People love to be able to share and talk about with their friends or family, whoever it might be. You know, I did this, I made this, I put this out there. And I think too often we don't understand that there's a cadence and a success story of that. It's kind of building a portfolio. It's an important thing to employees. The second thing, we've all heard a lot that millennials love experiences. Well, everybody loves experiences. And we find that it's kind of our challenge as leaders to be able to give these experiences to folks. So here is one of our creative directors on his 3rd day of work in the New York office, harnessing himself into a helicopter, flying over Manhattan and filming a tennis match with Sampras and Agassi for Nike. It was kind of a revisitation of their commercial from 20 years earlier. But again, 3rd day, like that's exciting stuff. Can't underscore enough, give people disruption in their daily lives. Give them experiences. It's super important. And the last thing that we've started is a program called Future Academy. It's for our creative technology group, so it's kind of a blend of folks between creative and technology around emerging technology for us. And it's really hard for us to hire these people. And the way that this program works is we bring in interns kind of right out of school, and they're with us for 12 weeks. And the assignment is not dissimilar to the Ignite session, build something. You have 12 weeks to build something. You have unlimited full disposal of whatever you need in terms of resource. We have innovation labs in most of our offices, so go to town. And this is something that they came up with in San Francisco a couple of years ago. It's a tandem bike and with lights on the side. And when you need to turn right, the light on the right blinks and the left blinks. And it's a way to get to know employees. So when two people start, they hop on the bike, they go around San Francisco, it leads them to the nearest bar to have a drink together. We showed it to Bud Light, big client of ours, and they loved it. Of course, we couldn't have biking for clients during drinking beer. So we came up with shoes with lights in them that actually take you to the nearest bar that serves Bud and Bud Light. So you never know where it's going to come from. So key takeaways, and I realize I have to be quick because if the name of this is do it faster and I'm over time, it's bad stuff. That's why I'm talking so quickly. Key takeaways, sprint to your first deliverable. Get something in your client's hands as fast as you can. And I think to underscore, bring those clients in with you. Make sure you're disrupting. If there's something in your process that does not need to be there, or you feel like, this is kind of for us more than the client, get rid of it because your client definitely can sniff it out too. Number 3, employ new technologies. There's a lot of great stuff out there from Slack for communication and quality assurance testing software. There's new stuff all the time. Make sure that you are utilizing it. Point 4, your employees want to progress faster than you could possibly imagine. Give them those experiences. Make sure that you're challenging them. And number 5, most importantly, never settle for less than great. Thank you very much.